Have you ever wondered why some people work tirelessly their whole lives? Always busy, yet end up just barely making ends meet, while others seem to have it easier. Yet manage to achieve financial freedom and live life on their own terms? The answer isn't luck, nor is it simply being more intelligent. It comes down to something quiet but incredibly powerful: mindset. If you keep following the beaten path that the majority chooses, your results will mirror theirs: survival without freedom. But if you dare to think differently, to walk against the crowd, to step into roads less traveled, that's when the doors to lasting wealth begin to open. The sustainably wealthy don't just save money, they create cash flow. They don't just chase job security, they find ways to own their work and control their lives. Most importantly, they don't trade time for money forever. They build systems, leverage tools, people, and technology so money continues to flow, even while they rest. In this video, I'll share with you 7 mindset principles for sustainable wealth, lessons that could completely transform the way you see money and freedom. And my friend, this is Different Mindset, a place where we learn to think differently, live differently, and design a life we truly deserve. If you want to go further, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a lesson. Before we dive in, I want to ask you this: if you had to choose, would you pick a lifetime of hard work but safety? Or would you choose to think differently, take risks, and chase freedom? Comment below. Are you Team A or Team B? For decades, we've been taught what seemed like an unbeatable formula. Study hard, right pointing arrow; get a good degree, right pointing arrow; find a stable job, right pointing arrow; save money for the future. This formula once worked, back when society moved slowly and persistence alone could lead to progress. But today, if you keep following that path, chances are you'll end up stuck in a cycle: enough to eat, enough to get by, but never enough to be free. The modern market no longer rewards hard work alone. It only rewards those who know how to create value through leverage. Look around. How many straight-A students graduated expecting high salaries, only to struggle with living expenses? How many people work day and night, but the moment they stop, their income dries up? How many families save for years, only to see their savings wiped out by a single crisis or illness? This is the cost of relying on a formula that no longer works. Successful people understand this. Good grades only matter if they solve real problems. Hard work only pays if it leverages systems and technology. Saving only matters when it becomes capital for investment. So why doesn't the old formula work anymore? Because the world has changed. Technology has advanced, and opportunities aren't distributed evenly. Someone working double shifts may still earn less than someone who builds an automated YouTube channel. Someone saving every penny for 10 years may still fall behind someone who makes a smart investment in just 2 years. The biggest trap of the old formula is false security. It makes us believe that if we just work hard and stay patient, success will follow. But in reality, millions remain stuck in stability, enough to survive, but never enough to break free. Imagine holding an old map to reach a new city. You keep walking, but you never arrive because the map is outdated. Wealth building works the same way. That's why, if you want to change your income, you must first change your mental map. You can't reach new destinations by walking the same old paths. In the next part, we'll talk about the first step to rewriting this formula. Learning not just to gain knowledge, but to solve real problems in the market. We've often been taught, the more you study, the better. The more degrees you have, the more successful you'll be. But the harsh truth is, the market doesn't care how much you know. The market only cares about what problems you can solve. You could be holding a top-grade diploma, but if what you studied doesn't match real-world needs, your income will stay average. On the other hand, if you have a specific skill the market is desperate for, your value skyrockets instantly. For example, someone might have an accounting degree, but companies need people who can analyze data with Power BI, or a computer science graduate who doesn't know the programming language currently in demand. The result? Unemployment or low pay. Successful people approach learning differently. They don't learn to stockpile theory, they learn to create value they can sell. They call it specific knowledge, specialized skills that are both rare and hard to replace. Think about it. Negotiation skills to close big contracts. Copywriting skills that turn words into revenue. Data analysis skills that drive accurate business decisions. or short-form video production skills that attract millions of views. These are all skills the market is willing to pay top dollar for. The important question isn't, what should I learn, but rather, out there, who is willing to pay me to solve their problem? Take a simple example. A young person who only knows basic Excel. If they stop there, they'll look like thousands of other candidates. But if they package that skill into an Excel course designed for online shop owners, helping them manage orders, calculate profit, control expenses, the value changes completely. That's the key difference. Learning to solve specific problems. When knowledge is tied directly to market pain points, it instantly becomes an intangible asset that generates income. And here's another truth. Learning never stops. The market changes too fast. What's valuable today may be outdated in just a few years. Someone who succeeded with static banners or Facebook content 5 years ago will be left behind if they don't adapt to TikTok or YouTube Shorts today. That's why successful people don't see learning as a phase, they see it as a lifelong strategy. They learn less but deeper, learning the right things they can actually use. My friend, from today, ask yourself a different question. What pain out there can I solve? From that question, you'll know what to learn, what skills to master. Because learning just to know adds information. But learning to solve problems, that's when knowledge transforms into real wealth. In the next part, we'll dive into a crucial turning point. How to stop trading time for money and start using leverage to multiply your value. Think about this. Each of us only has 24 hours a day. The more overtime you work, the more your health wears down, yet your income still hits a ceiling. This is why trading time for money can never truly set you free. The sustainably wealthy understand this very well. They don't try to work harder. They figure out how to make 1 hour of their time create 10 or 100 times more value. They do this through leverage. There are 3 common forms of leverage you can start using today: digital content, software, and automation. First, digital content. A video, an online course, or a template you create once can be sold thousands of times. Your value is no longer tied to a single hour of work, it can scale infinitely. Second, software. If digital content scales knowledge, software scales action. An order management tool can replace the work of several employees. A customer support app can serve thousands of people at once. Third, automation. This is when everything is connected into a self-running system. A customer places an order, right pointing arrow, the system sends confirmation, right pointing arrow, the warehouse prepares it, right pointing arrow, shipping delivers it, right pointing arrow, the customer gets notified. The business owner doesn't lift a finger. Yet money flows in consistently. I have a friend who works in design. He used to stay up late every night editing files for clients, working a lot but burning out. Then he shifted his mindset. He created ready-made design templates to sell online, along with a mini course. Within a few months, his income from digital products surpassed freelancing. That's the power of leverage. A product created once can bring in unlimited income. And you see, the issue isn't how fast you run, but what vehicle you're using. Someone on foot can sprint all they want, but they'll never outrun someone on a motorcycle, let alone someone on a plane. The same goes for finance and career. To break through, you need to change your vehicle, not just speed up. Leverage is the airplane that takes you farther, faster, and most importantly, freer. In the next part, we'll talk about a smart strategy, thinking big but starting small. The way successful people enter markets without being swallowed up by brutal competition. One of the most common mistakes when starting a business is trying to go big right from the start. People rush to open companies, build flashy brands, or jump into hot industries just because everyone else is doing it. But the price of entering a red ocean full of competitors is exhaustion, burned capital, and early failure. Successful people choose a different path. They think big but start with a small niche, a gap in the market that most people haven't seen or valued. There, they have the chance to become number one in the eyes of a specific group of customers. A niche doesn't mean something trivial. It could be a need that seems simple, but if you solve it thoroughly, customers will stay loyal and spread the word about you. For example, instead of opening a big restaurant to compete with hundreds of others, you could choose a niche, like providing traditional broth delivered weekly to busy families. It sounds small, but that smallness gives you advantages. fewer competitors, easier optimization, and a unique brand identity. Once you dominate a niche, it becomes the foundation for expanding into larger markets. Many global brands followed this path. Amazon started with books, Starbucks with coffee beans. But for a niche to succeed, you need to deliver 10x value beyond customer expectations. This is called the 10x mindset: faster, better, more convenient, or deeper experiences. When customers feel overwhelming value, they not only return but also become your natural promoters. Imagine building a smart kitchen model, selling broth for home delivery while also creating a TikTok channel with quick recipes using your own product. Suddenly, you have 3 revenue streams: product sales, ad revenue, and online cooking courses. The lesson here: don't try to conquer the world from day one. Choose the right niche, master it, and then expand. Sustainable success comes from steady steps, not rushing into a grand dream only to quit halfway. The wealthy understand that the difference isn't in initial scale but in long-term vision. You may move slowly, step by step, but if you know where you're heading, you'll go farther than most. In the next part, we'll talk about a silent secret of wealth: accumulating and investing quietly, instead of showing off and spending to prove yourself. Have you noticed that whenever income rises, most people immediately think about upgrading their lifestyle? A new phone, a new car, designer clothes, luxury trips, all to prove, "I've leveled up." But the sustainably wealthy are different. They choose the quiet path: saving and investing, letting money work for them instead of spending to prove themselves. They follow a disciplined rule: save first, spend later. Instead of spending and saving whatever's left, they immediately set aside a portion of income for investment, and only then spend what remains. This is why, even without high income, their wealth steadily grows. They also practice invest first, enjoy later. When extra money comes in, they don't rush to reward themselves. Instead, they ask, how can this money keep multiplying? Only when stable profits flow do they spend freely, using earnings, not their core capital. This is the golden rule: live on interest. Grow the principal. The core capital is preserved, and only profits are spent. This ensures wealth keeps growing while lifestyle remains comfortable. Average people often fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation. As soon as they earn more, they spend more. But the wealthy only upgrade their lifestyle when passive income, from investments, businesses, or rentals, can cover the costs. Another interesting point: they save and invest quietly. No bragging, no showing off. This silence shields them from envy, social pressure, and the temptation to compete. I know a friend who started with just an average income. Instead of keeping up with friends upgrading cars and homes, he stuck to saving first, investing later. After 10 years, his passive income doubled his original salary, while his peers were still struggling with debt. The lesson is clear: money isn't for showing off, it's for creating freedom. And freedom only comes when you make money work for you, not the other way around. In the next part, we'll explore a powerful counterintuitive principle: acting when the majority is afraid, the secret that allows the wealthy to turn crises into breakthroughs. There's a fascinating paradox in wealth building. The biggest opportunities often appear when others are panicking and running away. When the market crashes, when the news is full of gloom, most people think only of defense. But in those very moments, a select few see opportunity. The sustainably wealthy always prepare principles before the storm hits. They don't wait for chaos to scramble. They follow 3 crucial rules: know their assets, have their own valuation framework, and set clear risk thresholds. First, they know exactly what they hold. When the market drops, the uninformed panic sell, but the prepared hold onto core assets, and even buy more when prices fall. Second, they have their own valuation framework. For example, if a stock's real value is $50, but a crisis drags it down to $30, they see a buying opportunity, not a reason to panic. Third, they set risk thresholds. They never go all in. They always keep reserves and diversify wisely. So when markets swing, they don't collapse, they simply treat it as a restructuring phase. In a crisis, the crowd acts emotionally. Bad news? They sell. Others are running? They follow. But the wealthy keep a cool head. They don't rush. They analyze data and take small but disciplined actions. For example, During the health crisis, many restaurants shut down, but one owner thought differently. Instead of waiting it out, he switched to selling broth for home delivery, paired with low-cost online ads. After the crisis, he emerged with a loyal customer base and steady revenue. The lesson is clear. Opportunities often open only for a brief moment. Those calm enough to see them, and disciplined enough to seize them, make the breakthroughs. Acting when the majority is afraid doesn't mean being reckless. It requires knowledge, preparation, and principles. That's why the wealthy don't rely on luck, they rely on discipline and foresight. In the next part, we'll discuss a practical strategy that helps you take action immediately without waiting for perfection: the 7-Day Starter Toolkit. A way to turn an idea into your first stream of income in just 1 week. Many people believe starting a new project takes months, even years of preparation. They wait until they have enough capital, enough experience, enough confidence. But the truth is, if you wait for perfection, you'll never start. Successful people understand that the first step doesn't need to be grand. In just 7 days, you can turn an idea into your first cash flow if you use the right toolkit. So what does the 7-Day Starter Toolkit include? Day 1. Identify a specific problem. Instead of vaguely saying, "I want to start an online business," ask, "What problem are customers facing that I can solve right now?" Day 2. Build a simple solution. Don't chase perfection. A sample Excel sheet, a tutorial video, or a prototype product is enough to test. Day 3. Name and package it. Turn your solution into something memorable. For example, Excel Pro for online shops is far clearer than just Excel course. Day 4. Set up a quick distribution channel. Don't overcomplicate. You can sell through Facebook, TikTok, Etsy, or even a Google form with a payment link. Day 5. Test promotion. A post, a short video, or an email to friends. Don't worry if it's not professional. The key is to validate response. Day 6. Gather feedback and adjust. What are customers saying? Where do they see strengths or weaknesses? This feedback is gold for optimization. Day 7. Close your first sale. Whether it's $10 or $100, that first sale proves your idea can make money. From here, you can scale. Many people fail not because of lack of talent, but because they waited too long. They thought they needed a fancy office, a professional website, a flashy logo. In reality, customers only care, "Does this solve my problem?" A friend of mine started selling healthy meal plans as a PDF. At first, just a few dozen people bought, but through feedback, she expanded into video tutorials, then a full online course. From a $5 PDF, she now earns thousands per month in passive income. The lesson is simple. You don't need to be ready to start. By starting, you become ready. In the next part, we'll wrap things up, the new wealth formulas for this era, and how you can apply them to your own journey. My friend, we've walked through a journey together, from realizing that the old formula is outdated, to learning how to solve real problems, mastering leverage, starting with a small niche, saving and investing quietly, acting when others are afraid, and finally using the 7-Day Starter Toolkit to turn ideas into real money. All of this comes down to one powerful truth: financial freedom doesn't come from working harder, it comes from thinking differently. In a world that changes daily, opportunities aren't scarce. What's scarce are people brave enough to seize them. And often, you don't need all the answers, you just need the courage to take the first step. If you found today's insights valuable, subscribe to Different Thinking to keep receiving fresh perspectives, inspiring stories, and practical tools to change your life. And finally, I want to hear from you. Will you choose the safety of the old formula, or dare to step into the new journey full of opportunities? Leave a comment below. Choose A. I'll stay in my comfort zone, or B. I'm ready to begin a new journey. I can't wait to read your answer. Thank you for staying until the end of this video. Remember, wealth isn't just about having more money, it's about having more choices in life.